Hello. You want to know one of the characteristics that we should have to have successful health? And this can go further than just health, but just having success is being able to pivot. I'm going to give an example of being able to use pivoting for our benefit. My name is Jimmy Willis. I'm glad that you joined me this evening. I'm going to talk about this being able to pivot. So here's an example of being able to pivot with something. So let's just say that you're preparing, it's evening time, it's dinner time. You don't know what you want. You decide to go out for dinner. You get up. You don't know where you're going. You get up, you go to your car. You figure you're just going to drive around until you find somewhere that interests you. You go to a place that you haven't been to often. You get there, you pull up, you park, you go in. Right at the door, the host there is not the nicest, but you look past that, you look beyond that. The hostess bring you in, they find you a seat, you have a seat, the server come over, give you a menu. You're looking at the menu, they didn't introduce themselves, they just kind of short with you. Not really rude, but not nice either. So now you got two things. The host wasn't the best, wasn't friendly. Now you got a server that's not the best. You look at the menu, you see a lot of things on there that you're not really interested in. You realize that you probably have made the wrong choice. You made the wrong decision in this restaurant. But you say you done invested a lot. You drove there, you came inside, you're at a table, you got a seat, you got the menu, so you figured that you might as well order. The server bring you water to drink to start, and you're sitting there. And so far you've had all these negative things go on. And have you ever been to the point where you say, you know what, I'm just gonna go? And you tell the server, yeah, I'm just gonna go. And you leave. That instance is considered a pivot. Things were not going the best. You were going down a negative path. The road didn't appear that it was going to get any better. So you didn't want to take the chance with ordering. You figured you would pivot and you would just leave and go find something that would be a better experience or a better situation. So that's what pivoting is. And with our health, we should pivot often. We find ourselves in a situation where we're not eating the best, or we're not really exercising like we want to or like we should. And after we don't do it for so long, or we stay in this negative space for so long, we just get stuck and we never change. We say, I didn't do it yesterday. I didn't do it last week. I ate this bad food last week. Now, a couple of days ago, I ate it. I've just been going bad and just going down. So, might as well. And you never do change. Well, it's important to make that change, to make that pivot, change from those negative things. And a lot of times you have to change often. You have to change. So it's not just once, because you'll do it right, and then you may get it wrong. You may get it wrong, but then you have to pivot. You have to pivot and change and say, you know what, I'm gonna get back to how it should be. I'm gonna get back to how I used to be. I used to go to the gym. I used to work out. I used to work out at home. I used to get on the treadmill. I bought a treadmill. I used to use it. Now it's sitting there, it's getting dusty. I haven't used it for a while. It's time to pivot. So make the change. Use pivot to get yourself back on track, get yourself back in order to move the needle to where you want it to go or how you want it to be. And then you have to really, taking care of your health becomes a lifestyle. And so it's not just something that you do. It's not a fad. It doesn't last for, when it's popular or a short time. It has to become a lifestyle. You ever seen people that you know, and they're in good shape, and then you don't see them for a long time, and you see them again 5 years down the road, and it's like they're in better shape than they were, when you saw them 5 years ago. That's because it's a lifestyle. You don't just do it once. You don't just do it for a week. You don't just do it for a month. It just becomes what you do all the time, how you live, making good choices, and using pivot to guide those choices. When you get on the bad track, learn to pivot and make that change. It's important. So that's what I have this evening. It's important to be able to make changes and pivot from where we used to be. Don't get stuck in these bad situations. Don't get stuck in the rut. Pull yourself up. You haven't been doing what you want to do or what you should be doing. You can do it. You got this. So just remember to make the change that you need to make so you don't get stuck in the same place. Okay? All right. So that is all I have for this evening. You can always reach out to me for more information at Jimmywillisgethealthy at AOL.com. That's Jimmywillisgethealthy at AOL.com. And I'll put that in the link down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Glad you guys joined me this evening. Talk to you later. Peace.